Hello, welcome to my channel. Happy New Year, happy 2023. I am still living in the world of 2022. I'm not sure how I feel yet. It's complex. But today we're going to be Today we're going to be discussing my 2023 Buzzword-a-thon TBR, my Buzzword TBR. It's not really a readathon. It's kind of like a guided monthly readathon. I don't know how to explain it, but this is hosted by Kayla over at Books and Lala. I will leave her channel down in the description, of course, for you to check out. This here is the board for 2023 with all of the prompts, which I should make sure I have pulled up for myself. All right, so let's just get into what I'm hoping my TBR will be. This is all completely subject to change. I'm going to do my best, though. This is the goal, but I might read things slightly out of order. This coming year, 2023, I will not be doing, I will not be doing dedicated monthly reading vlogs to the Buzzword reading challenge anymore. I just would find myself not as excited for the books that I had picked in the original TBR video, so I would procrastinate the actual reading vlog, and then I'd get really behind, and I'm not going to do that to myself this year. So this year, we're just going to pick a few books, hopefully read them, maybe check in at the end of the year. We'll see. So let's just jump right in. January's theme is life and death, and for that, I'm going to be picking the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This is by Stuart Torton, and he also recently came out with a mystery, like a sea pirate. It's not a pirate book, but like it's a ship mystery book, I think, which I am interested in checking out. But I was wanting to check out the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle first because it's been on my radar for quite some time. It's pretty popular. It's a story that my friends really enjoyed, so I'm hoping to pick it up, at least the audiobook. But it is a book that I have like pretty high hopes for. Like, I think I'm really going to enjoy it. I definitely think it could be a 5-star prediction, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But that's going to be what I'm hoping to get to in January. And then for February, which is so broad and open, just verb, which, like, how do I pick which verb? That's so open. But I decided to go with something different. It's February, the month of romance and love, also my birthday. So I'm picking Haunting Adeline. This is by H.D. Carlton. It's part of the Cat and Mouse duet. It's like a dark fantasy romance. So we'll see. I've heard some buzz around it for a while. I don't know anything about it, as I don't with most books I haven't read, but I am intrigued. It's been on my TBR for a little bit now, and so I am hoping to like pick it up and read it, but I'm also like kind of nervous because I don't really read romance, but if like I'm gonna read romance, it's gonna be like fantasy, but I don't typically read dark romance, so we will see. And then for March, I will be reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt for the word secret. I've been wanting to read this for so long. As you can see right there, I have the All of Us Villains? No. If We Were Villains. If We Were Villains? All of Us Villains. I love books with villains in the title. Not the point. Right here, as you can see, I have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, which is like one of my favorite books ever. And it's basically, from what I've heard, The Secret History, but like Shakespearean. So of course I need to pick up The Secret History. I think I'm going to love it. I think it's going to be great. I've not really read a lot of dark academia, but it is a genre that I'm really interested in and hoping to read more of along the way, because it's just like... For April's Word of Emotions, I'm hoping to pick up one or two books. This is pretty like open-ended, but I'm being so tested. The first one being So Happy For You by Cecilia Lasky. I really want to read this. I think me and the main character are going to understand each other really well. I think it's going to give me a lot of insight and help with conversations and so on and so forth. It's also a plot that just really interests me. I'm so excited for it. But I might end up reading it before April, so I wanted a backup, which is going to be The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chamberlain. I think that's what the title is. It's very long. It's like a classic sci-fi, though. I would very much like to read that as well. And angry fits the emotion prompt, so it'll be one of those two things, depending. For May's prompt of flavors, which I thought was going to be really hard, but I had Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley on my shelves. This is Owl Crate exclusive, edition that I've had for a while now. So I figured what better time to pick up something off of my shelf that I've been meaning to read for a while than Sweet and Bitter Magic. It's just like the perfect, like there's 2 flavors. It's like a bonus win. I have not heard a whole lot about this. I don't know what the reviews really are for this, but I am intrigued either way. I'm excited either way. I hope we will see. But this will be the pick for May. For the month of June, the word other, I have picked Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. I know this is magical realism, which is a genre that, like, I'm sometimes cool with, sometimes, like, really not cool with. We'll have to wait and see what I think of this. It is, like, on the smaller side, which is nice, but I'm definitely intrigued. It's about, like, this magical apartment building on this little island, and that's all I know. But I am interested to pick this up. If I read this pretty quickly, I might also attempt to pick up Girl, Woman, Other, which is a book that I've been really interested in, but haven't had the chance to get my hands on, but I would really like to read that at some point in the world, whenever that might be. That's definitely, like, one I would like to read, but I don't want to put pressure on myself to, like, force myself and read it in, like, a small time frame, because I know it's got more importance to it. But for July, the weather word, which I really had a hard time with this one. I've decided to settle on Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin. This is a fairy tale retelling, I want to say, of Snow and Rose. I'm not entirely sure. I know that it's, like, got a younger audience to it. The cover is so freaking cute. I just love the cover so much. So I want to pick it up. I think it'll be sweet. I think it'll be an easy read for the summer, even though it definitely gives me, like, winter, autumn vibes. I think it'll be fun to pick up, like, on the edge of summer. So we'll see. But that's the idea. For August, surprisingly, like, you would think body parts would be, like, a really easy prompt to fulfill. My head went so blank, so empty, like, no thoughts, head empty, when I was trying to find anything on my Goodreads TBR. In, like, less fun, I went with Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. Is the author of The Hinderwoods. That's not it. That's the second or third. The Hazelwoods. Author of The Hazelwood. I thought it was fine, but this is, I think is it adult? I don't know if it's adult. But it's their, like, newest release. I'm very intrigued to see what it is about. I think the cover is kind of interesting. I've heard decent things, nothing good, nothing bad. I don't think it's a book that a lot of people have really picked up, at least not in my sphere, but I am intrigued. I was hoping to get to it this year, so I'll try and get to it next year instead. For September, game words was another, like, kind of difficult prompt for me, but I'm gonna go with The Hunger Games because I think it's a rite of passage that I missed out on as a non-reader because I'm dyslexic and books really scared me when I was younger. I missed out on a crucial part of existence, and so I'm going to try and regain that feeling, though I have seen all of the movies at least once, the first one a few times. So, like, we'll see how it goes. I will read it, though. I'm gonna at least attempt to do like a whole dedicated reading vlog to the series, just so that I can read them, you know, get the full experience. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I think it'll be fun. For October, there's so many options. The theme is just magic words, which you can do so much with. The X-Hex and the Kiss Curse come to mind like almost immediately. Those are books that I would love to read in October. I have here Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, an author that I absolutely love. This is 5-star prediction. This is their adult debut. I would love to read this. I might end up reading it before, though, because I don't necessarily feel this has to be read in October, whereas the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse are much more like October Halloween romance books. So this is what I pulled just in case, but I honestly will probably end up picking up the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse, because everyone says the Kiss Curse is better, but I feel like you gotta read them together, you know? For November's good prompt or good word theme, I'm gonna go with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, a classic. I actually gifted this book to my mom for Christmas, so I'll probably borrow her copy and get it read for myself, because it is a story that I would like to read as well. The whole trilogy just sounds right up my alley, but I also think it's right up my mom's alley, so that was her gift from me, one of them. So that's definitely what I'm going to pick up for good. And finally, December, sound related words. That one was like kind of tricky for me. I was like shrieking. Is that like a normal? It was strange. But for this, I am going with Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark? I'm so sorry. Ring Shout, which is like a horror, historical fiction, fantasy novella about like the Ku Klux Klan being monsters or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I am really excited for this. I think it's going to be really good. I've heard nothing but great things about this. And I'm ready to read about the KKK members like offing themselves because they're bad people, you know? Like, it just sounds like a good time. We'll see. But that's going to be the pick, especially because it's like the end of the month or the end of the year. Shorter books are always great to hit those goals. My goal is big this year. So those were all of the books that I'm aiming to read for the Buzzword Reading Challenge. I'm excited. I'm less excited though this year. Like, it's so complicated. The Buzzword Reading Challenge is what got me into reading 2 years ago now, because I was really obsessed with Kayla's videos when I started my channel, and I was like, man, I want to like slowly get back into reading. I haven't loved reading since high school, and I was 22 at the time. I don't know how aging works. I was in my early 20s, still am. I don't know. Anyway, I really wanted to participate in her reading challenge because I thought it was a great way to ease back into reading, and then I ended up reading like a whole bunch of books, and then this year I've read even more books, and it's just getting better and better as the years and days go by. But this challenge means a lot to me because it got me into reading, but also it doesn't do well content-wise on YouTube, which is unfortunate, and it's not as cared about in the grand scheme of things, and so I felt like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to read these books when I didn't need to do that. And so now this year I'm gonna go back to the roots of like reading these books because they've been on my TBR and I'm interested in them, but also for fun to read, because that's the point. And so we're not gonna worry about like making content that doesn't make me happy. If I don't want to read the book that month, I'm not going to read the book. If I read something else for it, that's great. So that's kind of the plan. It's going to be like a chill, happy 2023 where I focus on content that makes me happy and makes you guys happy, but also like reading all of these too many books. So that's kind of the goal. That's the plan. But that is it for this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. Let me know if you participate in the Buzzword Reading Challenge and what you're reading. Like, send me your TBR. We can talk. If you want to buddy read any of these, let me know on Instagram and we can chit chat come that month. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!